Hello and welcome to the Windows 10 crash course. In this video, we're going to be talking all about configuring and using Cortana. Cortana is Windows 10's brand new kind of virtual assistant. It's a clever assistant that knows a lot about you and learns about you as you input information and helps you navigate through not just Windows, but the web and find stuff that's useful for you from reminders and more. So let's go ahead and show you how to set up and use Cortana. All right, so like I said, Cortana is your new personal assistant within Windows. And it's going to help you find things on your PC, manage things like your calendar, find files, chat with you, tell you random jokes. And here's how you get to it. Well, actually, it's the search icon in Windows. So it's usually right next to your start menu by default. If you've just installed Windows 10, you'll notice it right next to the, again, the start menu button. It may look different depending on how you enact your interface, of course. So this is Cortana, and like I said, you can do things like remind you for specific things. You can give it tasks for email, help you find files, and a lot of different stuff here. So you're gonna have to follow this little tutorial here to go ahead and set it up. So of course, first off, there's a privacy statement. You can read all of that, and then of course agree or not agree depending, again, if you really want to use this. And then you're going to give yourself a nickname or what you want Cortana to call you, essentially. So I'm going to go ahead and then just, for example, I'll give it a first name here, and we'll hit next. And then from here, it's going to go ahead and say it's all set, and it's going to start getting information about you here and show you a little bit about what it can do for you. So from here it says, here you'll see the latest on what I'm tracking for you. You can see what I've learned in the notebook or add things that interest you. So let's go ahead and jump right into the notebook first and foremost. Notebook allows you to essentially make Cortana your own, put interests about yourself and stuff relevant to you. So I can go ahead and open up Notebook here, and we'll go ahead and click on this. And then from here, you can input information about yourself. So you have the About Me profile that you can fill out here. You can have it change your name, edit your favorite places. You can see connected accounts that you can set up here. So if you want to set up things like Office 365, you can go ahead and set that up. You have the ability to go into the notebook settings here. So you can, or say Cortana settings, you can have it give you suggestions, ideas. You can turn on the Hey Cortana feature. So when that you say Hey Cortana, it's going to listen to your mic at all times, and then you can actually respond to you, and then you can ask it stuff. So again, anytime you can essentially call on Cortana to help you with stuff here. You can have things like enabled like taskbar tidbits, find flights, and more information, all that good stuff here. Going back to the notebook itself here, you have Cortana tips to help you out here. Eat and drink, you can adjust certain stuff for the eat and drink cards. You can have top recommendations enabled from Foursquare, restaurant recommendations. And this is really where it gets super personal for each of these things here. So for example, for restaurants, you can give it a price range. So it knows when you say, hey, help me find a great Mexican restaurant or something like that. It knows to find stuff within the parameters which you specifically set. And then you can say, for example, how often you would like to eat out, an ambient setting or cuisine preference, distance preference, all of that great stuff here. And that's just with, again, the food. You have other things like events here that you can specify, event cards. You have finance here, so finance cards, you can turn that on. Even stocks you're tracking, so you can put the stock symbols in there and add those so it knows what stocks you're looking for or, keeping, I should say, track of. Getting around, for example, for location when driving, you can have these enabled here, so you can go through all of these options here. You also have meetings and reminders. So for business settings here, you can have meeting and reminder card notifications, meeting prep, daily timeline, related documents. You can have all of those on. And you can have show reminders on Cortana Home. So that's your little home button right here. And a ton of other stuff, movies and TVs, for example, you have that here, so you can have it get the latest showtimes from nearby theaters, so it knows what's playing near you, daily news, packages, sports, travel, and weather. So again, there's a ton of stuff here that it wants to know about you, and you can adjust these settings based on your personal preferences here, what it can track, what information it should grab, and all of that. Now, the Cortana interface itself, you have the home interface for Cortana here. This is where it kind of gives you an overview of everything kind of going on for you. So you'll see the latest updates about what it's tracking for you. And again, recommended news, weather. Again, just being your overall assistant. Your notebook is the next button that we just talked about. And then the third button here is reminders. So here's where you can set reminders, and they break down into 4 categories: all, time, place, and person. So of course, a time-based category, or reminder, I should say, a place-based reminder if you need to be somewhere, or you want it to remind you within a specific location or something of that nature. You can, again, set that up. So for example, remember to do such and such at a person, place, or time. And you also have the ability, of course, to, again, put those in manually depending on your preferences. And then last but not least, the feedback. So this is just providing feedback to getting help and, improving Cortana overall. All right, so let's go ahead and show what Cortana can actually do here. So for example, you can use this like you use your basic search. Cortana searches the web and your files. So you can search for basic files, for example, or applications. You can search for Microsoft Office, for example, if you have that, and you see it'll give you results based off of not just your computer, but also the web. So you can automatically search stuff. So let's say I wanted Skype, for example. I can see the Skype app right here, but let's say I want to go to skype.com. I can just click on this. Cortana will automatically launch the Edge browser, whatever your default browser is, and then automatically take you to skype.com. So it's a great way to have universal search across your PC and files. So you can search for files, you can search for whatever, but you can also, of course, search on the web. It'll open up your default search engine and browser and handle all of that for you. Of course, the real use of Cortana comes into play when you use a microphone, so you can kind of, a great way to enable that Hey Cortana feature and really take advantage of it is using that microphone. So if you hit the microphone here, it's going to go ahead and have a setup process. So you're going to have to go ahead and walk through this whole setup process here, and we'll do some testing here to make sure that it can detect your voice here. So Peter talks to his computer. He prefers it to typing and particularly prefers it to pen and paper. So in that case, that's the test sentence here, and then you can see it detected it, so we'll hit next. So now that I've set up my microphone and I also went ahead and enabled the listening feature on Cortana, I can go ahead and say a command just using my voice at any point, wherever I'm at, if I'm open in an application or I'm just, on my desktop here. So let's go ahead and test it. Hey Cortana, remind me to get milk tomorrow at 2 p.m. Yes. And just like that, you can see it got all of that perfectly. So you can see here it's going to remind me to get milk tomorrow at 2 p.m. So that's just a small taste of what Cortana can do. Again, there's so much other things from setting up calendar appointments, obviously the reminders like I just showcased, searching for specific stuff, finding files for you, all those great stuff that you can enable. And then again, going that extra step by going into the settings and enabling things like the Hey Cortana, or you can even have it respond specifically to your voice at best, so it learns your voice as best as possible, and then will try to respond only to you rather than to anybody. So a lot of stuff here, and then it can pull from a lot of other sources and information regarding that, what you give it within the notebook settings. The more it learns about you, the better it responds to certain things. The more it knows to give you results tailored to things that you prefer, restaurants, financial information, news, all that great stuff. So this is your brand new personal assistant within Windows 10. This is Cortana. Be sure to check it out. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.